Hello and welcome to our analysis of the poem The Morning Sun is Shining by Olive Schreiner. Let's read the poem. The morning sun is shining on the green, green willow tree and sends a golden sunbeam to dance upon my knee. The fountain bubbles merrily, the yellow locusts spring. Of life and light and sunshine, the happy brown birds sing. The earth is clothed with beauty, the air is filled with song. The yellow thorn trees load the wind with odors sweet and strong. There is a hand I never touch and a face I never see. Now, what is sunshine? What is song? Now, what is light to me? Just a little bit of background information on Olive Schreiner before we begin our analysis of the poem, and I think it'll give us a lot of context about her emotions when writing this poem. Olive Schreiner had lost a little baby girl in the course of her life, and she had never gotten over this grief and this pain and this loss. And so this poem is a commemoration of that very heartbreaking incident in her life. All right, let's analyze the poem. The morning sun is shining. So the poem opens with a very positive, warm, radiating image, the morning sun that is shining, and it is shining on the green, green willow tree. And the reason for the repetition of green, green is to emphasize, is to highlight, is to reinforce just how green and verdant and healthy, luscious that tree is. There's going to be many references to color. You've got the green here, the golden here, the yellow later on, the brown birds, and the yellow tree. So this color is very vibrant, very warm, very colorful, right? It's nature showing off all her color, all her beauty, all her splendor, right? So the green, green willow tree, the sun is shining on it. And sends a golden sunbeam to dance upon my knee. So the speaker is sitting somewhere, and she has got the sunshine, the golden rays of sun dancing upon her knee. You've got a personification, right? The sunbeams are given the quality of dancing because of their merry movement, their merry motion across her knees. Right? Again, all of this very warm, very radiant, very welcoming, very optimistic, very positive imagery so far, right? The fountain bubbles merrily. You've got an onomatopoeia here, bubbles, imitating the sound that the bubbles make, and they are bubbling away merrily, right? Merrily, it's a human emotion, so this is a personification, personifying the fountain in its merry-making, bubbling sound. The yellow locust spring, right? Once again, you've got this lively motion, all of these locusts that are now celebrating the springtime, and they are now in full force, in full motion, and they are springing. Okay, you can almost hear the sound as well of these locusts as they are creaking through the grass wherever they are. Of life and light and sunshine, the happy brown birds sing. So the birds are also very excited, sharing in this happiness and this joy and this very positive, colorful image of nature. The birds are celebrating it. The birds are singing. And they're singing of what? They're singing of life. They are singing of the light, and they're singing of the sunshine. So the light that's on her knee, and the sunshine and the warmth and life, new life, springtime. The birds are singing. The birds are happy. Right, the earth is clothed with beauty. The earth is personified here, right? The earth is wearing her beautiful garment of color and brightness and happiness. She's showing off her beauty. She's showing off her radiance. She's showing off her color and her vibrancy. She's showing off this new spring season where everything is coming to life. Right, the air is filled with song. You could smell this and you could hear it. You're going to smell it just now. You can hear the song, the music, just like the birds, and the air is also carrying this beautiful melody in the air. The air is carrying the beautiful melody in the breeze. The yellow thorn trees load the wind with odors sweet and strong. Here you've got a reference to the sap that is oozing out of the trunk and the branches of the limbs of the yellow thorn trees, and the smell is being carried in the air and in the wind. You can see that it appeals to our senses on every level. You've got the warmth that you can feel. You've got the bubbling merrily that you can hear. You can see the spring. You can hear the birds. You can smell the sap from the trees. So this imagery, it appeals to all of our senses. It's very graphic. It's very clear. It's very um, loaded with emotion and beauty and color and vibrancy and life, right? Life as a theme of this poem. And why is life a theme in this poem? Is because in the last four lines we're going to have a contrast. There is a hand I never touch and a face I never see. So the speaker is saying never, as in not ever, not ever again. Is she going to touch a hand or see this face? She is referring to the child that has passed away. So from this very positive and very optimistic and very bright and bold and happy and beautiful description of nature, right, bursting with life, bursting with brightness, bursting with color, you've got a contrast of emotion. All of this is happening outside, this is happening inside, right? I can never touch her hand, I can never see her face. This is the child that has passed on. We've gone from incredible happiness to melancholy, sadness, heartbreak, and grief. Now, what is the sunshine? Now, what is the song? Now, what is the light to me? So the speaker in the last four lines is questioning, well, the last two lines is questioning, what is the purpose of all this life? What is the purpose of all this beauty when the one with whom I would have shared it is gone? Okay, it ends on an incredibly heartbreaking and almost bitter note, right? All this life is rejoicing outside of her person, and yet so much of darkness and coldness and death is inside of the speaker. Another point I'd like to make is when you look at a tree and you associate it with children, look at the connotation of children and trees. You've got the idea that children love to climb trees. And then you've got the bubbles merrily in children in their happy innocence and their positivity, their positive disposition, right? There's an allusion to children here. Springing, of course, the jumping. Children also love to jump, and singing. It's an expression of joy. And children will find any reason to sing and be happy and be positive. And then you've got the word life here, right? Versus the death that we see later on in the poem. And so you've got all of these allusions to this life and this living, and how the speaker cannot appreciate them, because what's the point of all of this when she, this child, who should have been full of life, who should have been climbing trees and bubbling around and jumping around and singing, is gone. All right, so the overall tone here for the first 12 lines, positive, bright, vibrant, full of life and color. And then the last four lines are incredibly heartbreaking and incredibly melancholy because of the loss of the child. All right, in a separate video, I am going to cover some questions that are frequently asked in the exam, and I'm going to apply it to this poem just to give you an idea of how to approach those questions in the exam as they would apply to this poem. So stay tuned for that. Until the next time, bye-bye.